The cyberpunk genre is incredibly cool as a concept, till you realize it feels like it's becoming more and more real every day. Hey, if it's so real, why isn't she real? I thought that's what the world wants. Cat ears on everyone.
Meow, meow. Mucho mejor.
Oh, it's that easy, huh? But this genre set in the future, showing a dystopian society, and everyone is trying to get through the day as best they can. But since it is sci-fi, you chuck in themes of androids and what it means to be human. Will the world go extinct to the environment? Just how rich can the rich get? And are those real cat ears or a prop? The questions we need answers to. All set to the neon lights, giant skyscrapers, and flying cars. I think I love it as a visual medium so much thanks to the movie series Blade Runner, which is very special to me.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and I am a fish.
Someone just like me.
So it was funny as then in 2020, you had this game, Cyberpunk 2077, a perfectly normal and functional game on release. And now, every game is trying to do that. Everything is cyberpunk. Parkour is cyberpunk. Cooking eggs is cyberpunk. Yowie is cyberpunk. Why, even the cats are cyberpunk.
It's you! It's you!
But it's funny, almost 9 years to the day, I played a game that tackled this genre way back then, and now a game that might be my top 10 favorites of all time. And wowzers, indie games can be so cool, which kind of fits into that theme of cyberpunk. You know, maybe you don't need to work for a big corporation to make games, you can make them yourself with whatever resources you got, and now look at yourselves, you got a collab with a gacha game. Va11 Halla, which I'm now going to call Valhalla because no normal person is going to keep reading that out loud. So Va11 Halla is set in the year 2070 something, where the outside world is dystopian. But no matter how sucky it is outside, you can wash all your problems away by venting into the chain-smoking bartender here. Well, I mean, you play as the bartender, so you listen to all kinds of people's problems. People such as Hatsune Miku, J. Jonah Jameson,
I trust my barber.
that cat girl, George Costanza, a Digimon brain, a streamer, a robot girl where everything she says I cannot show on YouTube, and a talking dog. Why are there so many of them?
They're dogs!
Developed by a Venezuelan studio and released in 2016, it blew away the indie scene with its retro pixel art reminiscent of PC 98 visual novels. And that's what you do, you read, but you got the hybrid gameplay to spice it up, the reading, and that is drinking. Well, you gotta look up in your bartender guide to find out what the heck, you want a beer? They still make that? More fancy type drinks made from just these ingredients, and you add them in, you shake it around, and bam, another satisfied customer. You do have more technical aspects to it, like it says on the rocks means you gotta add the ice, blended means you gotta mix it for more than 5 seconds, or aging. Wait, you press a button and the drink ages? How does that work? And don't forget the Karma Shrine, this secret little ingredient that makes your drinks alcoholic or not. And actually, depending on how much you put in, since some drinks it's optional, can change up the dialogue you get with the customer, since they are wasted and now act like they're on cold ones. And you do all this, you earn some meager money to be able to pay your rent by the end of the week, where every day you go back home and you can buy items that change up your living space over time, like posters, holographic plants, Y2K, I know. You can then open your phone and read about the news, like how that director, Hater, made a movie about cyborgs and heels. What's not to love about it? It's a cyborg wearing heels! And yeah, each customer will talk about the state of the world on that December, what happened outside, just how bad is it in New Jersey 3. What are your thoughts on it? And it's a relaxing game and kind of inspirational to me. Yes, I can prove it. I was there within 1 year of it releasing, playing it before any of you found out about it. And yes, in 2017, I actually made a let's play of this game, which was so crazy to me, the introvert having to come back from my office job and heading upstairs to read it out loud all this dialogue while everyone is home downstairs.
Yesterday was a bit different. I worked the entire day.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
But it was the vibe, the amazing soundtrack, which, yes, are one of the first songs that I use in my videos in this music file I've kept since then. It sets the tone so well. Despite how horrible the future can be on the outside, you find a little comfort when you're plastered drunk. Some nitpicks I would say is that some characters, well, they don't interest me when I talk to them. It's just like real life. If you work as a bartender, you meet so many people, and some
Some of them are just jerks.
but that's realism. Where's my cat girls politicians? I need them the next 50 years. And yeah, there's not much danger to the game unless you're really bad at following instructions and making the wrong drinks. It does have multiple endings, allowing for some replayability. And yes, there is an overall story in the cyberpunk world, all about Jill here. So, okay, we have a dangerous drinking cyberpunk bar.
Something bothering me about this place. I know! This lesbian bar doesn't have a fire exit!
But are there any more cyberpunk games that also depict life in the future but have a unique twist? Well, if we got chain-smoking bartender, what else could there be? Of the Devil is an odd name for a game which is essentially Ace Attorney in 2086. No, really, this is probably the most Ace Attorney game to have ever Ace Attorneyed. It is made by a small team where it's doing an episodic release structure, and buddy, if they keep this up, this could end up in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I'm not even joking. Let me explain. You play as Morgan, the red-headed defense attorney, living in the cyberpunk future of 2086, where you got the mood set, the dark oppressive atmosphere of living in the States. Everything is tracked and always online. The receptionist are holograms, but you don't care. You got a job to do, and you see how the environments this time are a bit more varied to Valhalla's single screen, where it's made in 3D and you have these 2D sprites of the characters, which lets the camera move around the scene, and you get these beautiful shots where you're in the cabs and the blocky city passing you by, feeling like those shots in Blade Runner, which, side note, I gotta talk about those Blade Runner games at some point, so get subscribed for that. Wait, since when did the sub button? Why are you white? And it's not hyper detailed, this blocky feeling reminded me of Ultra Despair Girl's environmental art. And in the scenes, you can look around to notice things, which will tell you more about the place, or you can find reading material, which are news articles, but then it goes, oh hey fam, you're not logged in to read this. Oh, you haven't signed up to the premium website. Do you want to sign up for Chrome so we can track your data across all our websites? It's turned on by default. Can I scan your biometrics so you can access early access to this news article as the AI writes it out in real time? Wait, I'm considered old for smoking cigarettes in current year? Then what does that make Jill? So you get a call to defend someone accused of killing his girlfriend with a gun. Straight through the heart. And he really gave love a bad name.
Oh, brother.
As you meet the detectives London and Reyes, who tell you that this isn't your average killer. It's a serial killer who has killed 5 women before, who all look like his girlfriend, all brunettes.
What was that? Who cares?
And so we want to speak to him, but the detectives are like, are you nuts? He kills women! And so you meet Flat, who definitely doesn't seem like a killer. He has a modded arm where at his job, they chopped off his human arm since he was cranking it crazy style, and they gave him a robot one, and then he broke that because he was also cranking it crazy style, and now it's in the repair shop, so he has no arm now, and he still gets phantom pain. Oh, I cannot wait for the year 2086. Not even owning my limbs anymore! And so through the evidence, you get a holographic view of the crime scene. The drones everywhere, scanning everything and recreating the scene as you defend your client in this tutorial case before it goes to court. Oh no, the future reintroduced loot boxes! As yep, Morgan's got a gambler streak where your gameplay is pointing out contradictions in the detective's statements, just like Ace Attorney. You got evidence to browse, but the game adds a gambler motif. You place your evidence as cards on top of theirs. You can raise the stakes on their statements, calling their bluffs, as during investigations, clicking on everything, asking the right questions, rewards you with chips, and that becomes your health bar. And through your cunning, you prove that someone else was at the crime scene. It couldn't have been him. And so yay, you win. And then you meet the prosecutor. Huh. I wonder if anything's gonna happen between these two.
Enjoy your death trap, ladies.
Get a load of this guy.
And so as of this video, there are 2 more cases out there and they are meaty. And just with these 3, I'm well over 16 hours in this game and I read fast. There's so much inside. You then get a robot assistant for some banter like the Ace Attorney assistants. We stand our lawyer weird girl assistants. And you'll have other characters you can banter with.
Me from the Christmas party!
And you learn more about the world, how androids were made, their place in society, like how the judges are now replaced in small court by androids to cut down on their paperwork, and they gave each of them their own personalities.
The girls are fighting!
The writing style is great. You can tell the writers really knew how to modernize Ace Attorney to make it fit in the current year of 2086, but still have fun with it, you know, having things like unlockable charms for your phone. I knew it, cat ears of the future! I just feel this game really gets inside Morgan's head so well, understanding her thoughts and feelings like she's a real character. Similar to Phoenix Wright with his internal comments on the absurd situation, but then how her outward persona with that Deb sprite going, oh teehee, I'm just a ditzy lawyer, and everyone ends up telling her what she wants to know. The music is great with the actual few composed unique tracks for this game so vibey, which like Valhalla you want from this world, you want to feel that sci-fi gloom and the synths everywhere. And I love the visuals where it reminds me how those games with a mixed medium like Anna Dream Barbecue, mixing 2D sprites over a 3D environment, and with this art style, the incredibly dark shadows, contrasting on the bright colors, and you got this neon glow of the particle effects in the background, while it has more animation styles which you can see them adding as the cases go on. However, yeah, it has some issues. Maybe it's because I'm using a 1060, but often the game would lag where you would have to wait a bit for it to load the next dialogue in the same scene. Like I can't press X for a bit. Maybe it's because of how high poly the background is. And puzzles can be obscure, like there's not enough hints. As in chapter 1, I actually had to look up a guide, which was how it would be in the old detective games. You could be bashing your head against the wall, and the game would still not offer you any more hints to the solution, so you had to look up a guide. I guess I was used to the convenience of other games where they would offer more hints the more times you got it wrong, and in which some other parts of the text would scale up with the font. I was sitting far back away from my screen and trying to soak in the vibes, and the log was very tiny, I couldn't read it. I hope they will fix that up if they do a console port, you know, for TV screens. And with the courtroom evidence, it's presented like how it is in Ace Attorney or Danganronpa, but in those games you could read about the evidence before presenting the contradictions. I wish you could do that here because there was also a timer and it felt insanely quick for me to grasp what evidence I had to present in this time, and I'd often just get it wrong on purpose to give me more time to read it each time it went through it. But despite all that, without spoiling what happens at the end of chapter 0, wait, maybe I should, to convince you more, or I shouldn't. I don't know. Okay, well, the first chapter is free. It's right there if you want to try it for yourself. But if you need more convincing, the secret of this game from chapter 0 is that it's the one who was the killer in chapter 0, the one who killed Flat's girlfriend alongside the 5 other women, was Morgan. Say you are playing as a defense attorney who kills people, making this game like an Ace Attorney Dexter. And it gets wilder from there because now you, the player, knows all this and you're reading all of her thoughts about killing. But you also have a job to do to not get caught out. And the way it mixes and matches a killer mindset to someone who's also good at their job protecting people. She is a killer Ace Attorney after all. And this is such a fascinating character to play as, defending people from murder charges while you're doing the murders yourself. And all the inner dialogue changes and you're thinking, wait, do I want Morgan to get caught or not? She is so well written. I cannot praise it enough how refreshing this game felt, and it still feels like an Ace Attorney game. This is exactly what I wanted from Capcom now. Yes, thank you, the step ladder bends! We have investigations on different crime scenes, you meet new NPCs on these cases, then you'll have a trial with a prosecutor and more gambling-themed cross-examinations, and then it's like, oh, the case is not over, you gotta find more evidence, and you got a second day of the trial. Yet because of its style and presentation, it also has some memorable set pieces using the environment and the 2D art, like at the start of case 2, I don't think I'll ever forget how well that was showed off. And so, cyberpunk as a genre genre after this game felt like it wasn't a cool niche thing anymore. Every game is trying to do it now, despite Valhalla attempting it years ago. I'm sure it inspired a lot of bartending games, they're in abundance, but not many of this kind of vibe. Until now. And because of 2077, every dev is thinking this is a cool genre to explore. And it is! But the quality is kinda up and down. So here instead I'm promoting this game because it really needs some more eyeballs on it. Listening to this song and just reading about the world with Morgan Starlab telling it set me in such a mood, trying to figure out these crimes, setting me back to how I first played AI The Somnium Files, or even Ace Attorney alone in my room as a teen. This is one of the best modernizations of Ace Attorney's formula, seeing what it could look like in the future if, Capcom actually locked it in for once. Look, if you remember me way back when gassing up AI The Somnium Files before anyone else knew about it, to even what I talked about in my last video and so many people liking the game and checking it out, trust me, just give this game a try. The first chapter is completely free, and hopefully you might find your next favorite game and tell them I sent you so my ego can get a boost. Just click like on the video, it works too. This game is so incredibly niche that when searching for it, YouTube thinks I would rather search for a football team with a nickname Red Devils instead of this. The game itself was announced in 2022, and only like 3 people know about it. There's a chance that this could end badly with the remaining 3 cases, but if they keep up this momentum of writing, Of the Devil might be one of those games that people will talk about for a very long time. And this isn't their first game or anything like Valhalla, those devs who make so many games. They're even remaking their own browser games. They all seem to fit into that future aesthetic, and Of the Devil's devs also made other visual novels, so I'm hoping they can continue this and stick the landing of the vision they have. The future is looking bright for cyberpunk and lawyer games. Well, until Ace Attorney 7 has you cross-examining a cat-girl android, then the ball is back in their court, baby!
Trojan, Ramses, Magnum, Sheik.